Hi traders, in today's video I am going to talk about one of the indicators besides ADX that I have talked about in my previous indicator video that I am using in my trading algorithms and that can really add to your trading strategy. Of course, this indicator is no holy grail. It can be used as a single indicator most of the time, but it is great when you are combining it with other indicators, like for example the ADX or the RSI or the Force Index. And in this video I want to talk about its strengths, how it can help you to identify trends, potential exit points when you are trading with an algorithm or when you are trading your manual strategy, and how you can combine it with other indicators. Let's start. First of all, the awesome oscillator is a momentum indicator. And my first tip is, when you are creating your manual strategy or your EA, you can use the awesome oscillator on a lower time frame to identify the strength of the momentum of the trend. So when the trend is in a good momentum, it is in an upwards momentum, and it has a great strength to it. You can identify it with the awesome oscillator on a lower time frame, and you can make more precise decisions to enter the market. The awesome oscillator provides a pretty clear indication of the market, and if it's trending upwards, if it is trending downwards, or if it is in a kind of a ranging market. In other words, if it's moving sideways. The second tip is, you can confirm the strength of a trend with the awesome oscillator, because it is very simple to interpret it. So when the histogram is increasing, you can see a stronger trend, and when it is decreasing, you can see a decreasing of the strength of the trend. And so you can easily identify if a momentum is going to last, or it is going to basically fail as a trend and go back to like sideways markets. And I also have to tell you that there is a second way that I am using in one of my EAs, and it is using the awesome oscillator when it is crossing zero to the upwards, or when it is crossing zero to the downward direction. And in my experience, based on many testings that I've done, this can also add to your existing strategy by a lot. So you can try out this version as well. For example, you only open a buy position, like a trend trading buy position, when the awesome oscillator crossed above zero by a certain pip or certain X minutes. And in my opinion, it can be a great additional tool to filter out noises when you open a position. The third tip is, the awesome oscillator, just like the ADX, can be also used as an exit signal, not only an entry signal. So it can be used in your strategy as a dynamic exit. What does it mean? It means that you, of course, don't only use stop loss and take profit in your strategy, but you are using 1, 2, or 5, or 10 dynamic exits as well, precisely calculated in your testings to elevate your strategy's success rate and risk to reward ratio. And so it is very easy to use the awesome oscillator as an exit, a dynamic exit method. For example, as I've talked about this in the last point, some of the traders are using the awesome oscillator as an exit point very easily. Let's say you have a buy position and you want to establish a safety dynamic exit. So when the trend is going to fail and it ends somewhere, it has to end, you can exit the markets at the not the best point, because that is not possible based on probability theory every time, but at a great point, and you exit the trade when the awesome oscillator crossed below the zero line. For a buy trade, you exit there, and if you have a sell trade and you are in a short trend, you exit when the awesome oscillator crossed above the zero line. Of course, I would add multiple more dynamic exit methods and indicators to a real complex EA, and also a minimum pips and minimum minutes parameter, where you can tell the EA to wait a certain amount of pips and hours or minutes before it can actually close the trade based on the dynamic exit, so you avoid many of the false signals so you won't be closing your trades too early. And it is crucial for long-term success. For short-term, it is completely different. The next reason is, just like ADX, awesome oscillator can be also used on different time frames, on many time frames successfully. You don't have to use only one time frame with this indicator, and this is great for EAs that are using the multi-time frame analysis, as I've talked about in the first point. For example, when you want to make sure you have a precise entry, so you are using an indicator on the lower time frame as well as a confirmation. And this is the only acceptable way in my universe to use the lower time frames in a multi-time frame analysis scenario, because that way lower time frames can actually help you. And this is based on all my testings. This is the way to successfully implement lower time frames. Otherwise, most of the time, you won't have the necessary strictness to your strategy if you are using lower time frames, because there will be too much noise. And of course, if you can test a non-martingale, non-greed, non-averaging strategy on the lower time frame for at least 10 years, and it is showing good results overall, congratulations. But for most traders, it is not a possibility. So, and I am going to talk about this in one of my other videos, one of my next videos, how sellers that are selling robots for the 1 minute time frame and showing good backtests, how they are actually scamming traders to believe that those are real results, and you know that after a few months it is blowing the account. And the last reason is, similarly to the ADX, you can easily filter out many false signals with this indicator, and that is one of the key things when you are trying to create a strong Trend Trading Strategy, or EA, and it is also the hardest thing to do. If you ever created a trend trading strategy and you tested it like 10, 20 years, you already know how tough it is to filter out the bad trades when the market is ranging or it is sideways, and you can easily create a strategy that has great single trades for a certain trend. You have insane amount of pips, but the problem is you can't filter out just the good trades usually, and you are going to have many bad trades that will add up after a while. And this is why Awesome Oscillator and ADX are so useful, because they help you to filter out trades. If you are interested in a deep dive about these two indicators, where I add it to an easy strategy, a simple strategy that is a mediocre trend trading strategy, but it has many false signals. If you're interested in that, I am going to make that video for you, and I will be showing you how much we can filter out bad trades and unnecessary noise with these two indicators. Just let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, if it added to your life, to your trading life or personal life, or your philosophy about life, let me know in the comments. Leave a like, check out my website, because I have started a blog section where I post at least weekly, but twice a week usually, and you can check out all the information, and also subscribe to the channel. Yeah, ciao.